Did you know that most people in trucking are losing money every single week? Like thousands of dollars, because they don't understand how dispatchers and brokers actually get paid in the trucking ecosystem. This confusion is costing carriers thousands of dollars per month in lost revenue. I've been in the industry long enough to see how people fight battles that don't even exist, while others quietly building six-figure businesses by understanding how the money really flows. Today, we're going to break down exactly how these two players make money, which is carriers and freight brokers, and why the commission debate is completely wrong, and most importantly, how understanding these two business models can change everything for your trucking business. But what shocked me the most after working thousands of dispatchers, freight brokers, and carriers isn't just the most people get this part wrong. It's that the highest earners are using a strategy that combines both models in a way that 90% of the people don't even know exists. First, let me explain the four main players in the freight industry and how they fit together, because very important to understand those players. Once you understand who does what and how they get paid, the whole competition debate becomes irrelevant. Let's start with the shipper. A shipper is the company that has freight or loads that needs to be moved from one location to another location. And these, like manufacturers, Ford Motor Company, distribution center, or Walmart warehouses, or any business that produces or stores products. They have the pallets sitting in their facility in Atlanta, and they need those pallets delivered to customer in Houston. The name itself explains it perfectly. Shippers have something they need to ship. Think of it that way. But here's the key point that I want you to understand. They don't own trucks, and they don't want to deal with the logistics complexity or managing transportation. And they just want their products delivered to their customers on time and without damage. Next, we have a carrier. A carrier owns trucks and trailers plus the legal authority from the Department of Transportation, or DOT in short, to move freight commercially. According to the latest FMCSA data, there are about 577,000 active motor carriers registered in the United States. This could be one owner-operator with one truck working 70 hours a week, or it could be a massive company with thousands of trucks. Here's what most people don't realize. 91% of the carriers operate 6 or fewer trucks, and 97% operate fewer than 20 trucks. So we are talking about an industry dominated by small trucking companies. These carriers have the trucks and trailers to haul loads, but they need constantly find freight to keep their trucks moving and generating revenue for their businesses. Now, let's talk about a broker. A broker connects shipper with the carrier. They don't own trucks or trailers, but they have the relationship with both sides of the equation. There are approximately 30,000 active freight brokers registered with the FMCSA. But here's where it gets interesting. The top 3% of brokers generate 80% of all gross revenue in the industry. Think about it. The elite top 20 brokerage companies represent 1/3 of the entire $160 billion freight brokerage market. And this is how the broker makes money. Broker makes money by taking a load from a shipper at one price and finding a carrier that's willing to haul it for less, keeping the difference as their profit. And finally, we have freight dispatchers. The dispatchers work directly for a carrier to help them find loads and negotiate better rates. When a dispatcher works with a carrier, they sign a legal document called Dispatcher Carrier Agreement, and that allows them to legally represent that carrier in the marketplace. They basically become part of that carrier's team, and a dispatcher's job is to maximize carrier's revenue, because when carrier makes more money, dispatcher makes more money through performance-based profit sharing. Brokers work between shippers and carriers, serving both sides, but leaning more towards keeping the shipper happy by finding reliable transportation company, which is trucking company. or carriers. Dispatchers work exclusively for carriers, trucking companies, serving one side with the goal of getting the best possible deals for their carriers. The reason why is because if they make more money, they will be making more money. Now, let's dive into how each of these players actually make money, because this is where the most of the confusion and myths come from. They have the budgets for logistics and they need reliable service to keep their supply chains moving. A major company like Coca-Cola might spend $50 million annually on transportation. They typically work with multiple brokers and sometimes contract directly with the large carriers or the trucking companies. Carriers generate revenue by hauling freight. They get paid per mile, per load, or sometimes hourly, depending on the type of a transportation service, or depends on the business model, obviously. An owner-operator with one truck might gross $200,000 or $250,000 per year before expenses like fuel, insurance, truck payments, and the repairs, obviously. A large carrier, hundreds of trucks, can gross $20 million, $30 million annually. Carriers' challenge is obviously finding the profitable load to keep their equipment busy and drivers working for them. But here is where the brokers' business models get really interesting, and understanding these differences is crucial for everyone trying to negotiate rates effectively, like freight dispatchers, carriers. There are two different company type, or two different approaches, obviously, by brokers, and they operate like totally different businesses. The first model is called the buy and sell model, and also known as the Chicago model, meaning high volume, low margins per transaction, massive scale. And these brokers might have 300 people in office building working for them all day long, with sales team calling shippers constantly, marketing team sending thousands of emails daily, operations teams coordinating thousands of loads simultaneously. Just imagine this operation for a second. They work with thousands of different shippers, manage relationships with 5,000 different carriers, and move thousands of loads every single day. And this is very important to understand. They might make only $100 or $300 per load, but when you multiply that by volume, you're talking about millions in revenue. Here's the secret that most people never figure out. When these high volume brokers post a load on load boards, they want it covered immediately because the volume game. They're not going to negotiate with you like for 10-15 minutes over $100. They have 50 other loads to work on that day. If you call quickly, sound professional, and understand business model, and your rate request is reasonable, they'll often say yes just to move on to the next transaction. Again, the volume game. The second model is called the C2G model, which stands for carrier to ground, or some people might say start to finish model. Imagine this works like a luxury car dealership, meaning low volume, high margin per transaction, premium service focus. Instead of 300 people, they might have 10 people working for them. Instead of thousands of loads daily, they might have 50 or 60 loads per day. So these people tell shippers, we don't just move your freight, we move your entire logistics operation from pickup to delivery. That's what it is. And that usually comes with high rates, personal attention, and dedicated service, obviously. With the C2G model, when they quote shippers, let's say $4,500 for a lane, that's typically their firm rate, not starting point for negotiation. The key is learning to identify which broker model you are dealing with. The high volume brokers like buy and sell model, they talk fast and they want to book that load quickly and usually have flexibility on rates if you're reasonable and obviously professional. C2G brokers focus on relationships and service quality, and their rates are typically firm because their entire value proposition is built on the cost control and the premium service for their shippers. Now, let's explore how dispatchers structure their businesses and how they generate income. There are several different dispatch business models operating in the market today. And obviously, some dispatchers work as an employee for a large dispatching company, and they receive a salary plus performance bonuses and typically manage between 5 to 10 trucks per dispatcher. Other dispatchers operate as an independent contractors. They work directly with trucking companies, sign dispatcher carrier agreements with multiple companies. They're not working with just single company, and usually charge 5 to 10%, whatever the gross revenue the carrier generates per month. If a carrier generates $40,000 as a gross profit in a month, an independent dispatcher earning 8%, let's say, from this carrier, would make $3,200 from that carrier. Then you have the dispatching agencies. They employ multiple dispatchers, call them independent freight dispatching agencies. And this is what we teach. These companies might have 20 to 50 dispatchers on staff, serving hundreds of carriers and processing thousands of loads per week. But here's where most people get completely confused about money, and this confusion costs people thousands of dollars every month. They think dispatcher percentages and broker commissions are the same thing. Just completely wrong. They are totally different payment structures with different motivations. I want you to pay attention here. In business, the term commission specifically refers to percentage payment given to an agent or completing an individual transaction. Individual transaction is a keyword here. When a broker makes money, it's a commission based on individual transaction. See? Individual transaction. So here's exactly how it works. A shipper needs freight moved from Detroit to Phoenix, and they set a budget, let's say $4,200 for that particular transaction. And here's what broker does. Broker takes that exact load and posts on load board to find a carrier who's willing to haul that load for $3,000. Why is that? The broker then will keep the $400 difference as the commission on one load, one transaction, one payment. Done. Well, when a dispatcher makes money, it's not a commission at all. It's performance-based profit sharing over time. For example, if the dispatcher works with a carrier and that carrier gross revenue $35,000 in a month, the dispatcher might earn 8%, which equals to $2,800. If the same carrier generates $50,000 for the following month, the dispatcher earns 8%, which equals to $4,000. But here is the crucial part. The dispatcher only earns a percentage if they actually help the carrier improve their revenue performance. If the carrier was making $25,000 per month before working with the dispatcher and now makes $35,000 working with the dispatcher, then the carrier is happy to share that increased profit. It's true profit sharing based on results. And this is what we call the profit sharing based model. And by the way, this is why the dispatcher versus broker's commission concept makes no sense at all, because the payment structure itself creates completely different motivations. Let's go more deeper on this. A broker wants to pay carriers as little as possible on individual loads. Why? Well, because they wanted to maximize their profits per transaction. On the other hand, a dispatcher wants the carrier to earn more or as much as possible, because if they maximize a carrier's revenue, dispatchers will be making more money. That is dispatcher's ongoing revenue share model. Let me give you a real world example how this plays out. Last month, a dispatcher was negotiating with a broker on a load for one of their carriers. A high volume broker or buy and sell model brokers post load at $3,000 on a load board. The dispatcher called and said, hey, we need at least $3,400 to make the economics work for the carrier. The broker agreed immediately. Why? Because it was a buy and sell model or Chicago model who understands that spending 20 minutes in negotiating over $400 wasn't worth the time when they had 50 other loads to move on that day. Same week, different scenario. A C2G model broker posted a load at $4,800 on a load board. A dispatcher called asking for $5,200. The broker said no, obviously. Our rate is firm and it's only $4,800. And why is that? Because C2G model brokers built their entire value proposition around cost control and the premium service for their shippers. We talked about this. They just can't randomly give away $400 for dispatchers without damaging their business model and reputation. It's very important. Hear me out, dispatchers. This is why understanding broker business models matters so much in the trucking industry. Use wrong negotiation approach with the wrong broker type and you waste time while missing a lot of opportunities. Use the right approach with the right broker type and you're booking profitable loads every single time. But here's what most people never figured out, and this is the real secret that high earners understand. Professional dispatchers or experienced dispatchers don't fight against brokers. They build strategic partnerships with these specific brokers who appreciate reliable service. Very important to understand this. And the most successful dispatchers often work with 5 to 8 brokers who call them first when premium loads become available. Premium means high-paying loads. These brokers have the professional dispatchers who represent reliable professional carriers, meaning who don't break down, obviously don't miss appointments or damage their freight, which is very important in the trucking industry. They know these dispatchers understand different broker business models like C2G model and buy and sell model, and they don't waste time on unrealistic rate requests. These freight brokers, they know that these dispatchers help them provide better service to their shippers. And obviously this creates win-win relationship where everyone wins. And obviously carriers get consistent, well-paying freight. The brokers get dependable capacity and satisfied shippers. The shippers get their products delivered safely on time with no damage. And dispatchers earn solid recurring revenue from their long-term partnerships instead of fighting over every individual load. And here's the big picture that most people miss completely. We are all part of the same supply chain ecosystem. Shippers need brokers because they don't want to manage relationships with thousands of different small carriers. And obviously brokers need professional dispatchers because they provide reliable capacity and service quality to them. Carriers need skilled dispatchers to help navigate the market and obviously maximizing the revenue opportunities for them. And dispatchers need all 3 of these players to have a reliable business. And here is the deal. The real competition is professional versus amateur, strategic thinking versus reactive fighting, long-term relationship building versus short-term transaction focus. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've been in long enough in this industry to understand how the system really works. I work as a carrier myself, and I spend years consulting with dispatchers, brokers, and carriers. I've taught thousands of people these concepts that I share today with you. And the ones who get it right build sustainable 6-figure businesses. And the ones that who spend their precious time fighting imaginary battles stay broke and frustrated in the trucking industry. So next time when you're hearing somebody arguing about whether dispatching is legal or brokers are stealing money, you'll know that they're missing the fundamental point. These are different businesses serving different functions in the same industry. And let me say this, understanding how they work together is how you make real money instead of wasting energy in pointless conflicts. Now, I wanted to hear from you. After watching this breakdown, do you see how these roles actually complement each other rather than compete? Write a comment below and tell me your biggest takeaway from this explanation. And if you're serious about building successful business in the trucking industry, whether it's a dispatcher or a carrier or even a broker, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because I post videos every week with the real strategies, actual industry data, and practical insights so you can use immediately. Thank you.